Ella,
Yes.
you're homeless.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I became homeless a few months after my husband passed away in 22. Actually, I guess I became homeless in 23. I made it for a couple months. But I lost everything. Everything he ever worked for, everything I did. And I lost him. And then I had to be on the street. I didn't ask for this.
And you're in a hotel room for 2 nights.
Yeah.
And you go in and out. You basically hop from hotel room to hotel room.
And then streets.
Then you've been outside on the streets.
Yeah.
You're disabled, so you get disability. You can't work.
Right.
And disability isn't enough for an apartment, but
No.
you use it for a couple of nights when you get your disability check.
Yeah. For as long as I can stay wherever I stay.
And you've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
It has to be exhausting.
It is. Very much. It was easier when I had a car. My car was stolen. You know, it's all been downhill since Rich died. I don't know how to stop it. I'm miserable. I don't want to do this anymore. I've tried to kill myself twice. I just don't want to do it anymore. I didn't do anything wrong.
It's a vicious circle. And by living in these places, it's better than a car or outside, but you can't save up
No.
for anything.
No. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
There's no way to stop it.
And you don't have food?
No.
Did you eat today?
No. I nibbled yesterday on a hot dog. Before that, I hadn't ate for a couple days. I've lost about 30 pounds, 40 pounds since it all started.
So after the 2 days here, where next?
I don't know. The street. I don't have any money. I won't get any more money until next month. So
There's no women's shelters?
they're all full, and I'm not going to go to the city. I can't get there, number one, but number two, I'd be terrified to go.
Right.
I'm terrified to live the way I'm living.
We're in a rural community.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough to have a sleeping bag and sleep on the street, and I'm terrified of it, but I've done it. I usually find somebody to sleep with me, sleep out there with me, one of the other homeless people.
It's also what people don't understand, besides the unknown, everyday unknown, is that you don't have any choice, the
No.
absence of choice. You're not going to eat tonight what you want to eat. You're going to eat what somebody just went to a gas station to go get you.
Exactly.
And you don't sleep where you want to sleep. You sleep where...
You have to.
And there's a gentleman, a wonderful man named Paul, that's putting you up for a couple of nights. He puts a lot of families and people up. But there's no help from nonprofits or governments or...
No. There isn't. I've called 211 and I've gotten no help from them, not even food. I mean, nothing. There's pantries out there, but what am I going to do? I have no place to cook. Right. I can't cook a meal because they don't have stoves on the street. Right. So...
Well, people don't see hotel homelessness, weekly rate homelessness as homelessness, but it is.
It is, definitely. Definitely is. And most of them don't have places that you can, cook, or, it's just a room with
Yeah.
the basics.
This seems like a nicer one, but you're only here for 2 nights.
Right. And then it's back to
And
the
you got
same.
2 days to figure out where you're going next for 2 nights, and next
Right.
for 2 nights.
It is a struggle. It's overwhelming. It's horrible. I hate it. I can't. I just want out of it. I don't know how to get out of it. I keep thinking this doesn't happen to people like me, but it does. And I didn't do anything to cause it. I used to think differently about the homeless, but
I was just going to ask you that. How did you think differently about homeless people?
I used to think when I seen somebody with a sign and they're begging for money, well, get a job, do something with your life. But hey, I haven't had a sign out there, but I've called just like everybody else has for help. So I don't think that way of them anymore, because I don't know what their situation is or how they became homeless. Just like nobody knows what mine is, and nobody knows unless I tell you what my situation, how it happened. I don't know what,
Right.
I used to think it was all drugs and alcohol, and that's how they became where they were, but you don't know that. You don't know what the story is, what put them where they are.
1 or 2 crises, and you just snowball.
Yeah, it's a spiraling effect, and you just can't stop it. And there's no help for it. There's no one that, outside of people like Mr. Cruz, that there's not many of them either that help.
You're luckier in a rural community where there is a Paul Cruz to help.
Yeah. And I don't know of anyone else that does what he does.
Yeah, no, I don't either. And then, because often in the inner city, you'll find people that might put you up for a couple of nights like Paul is, but you wouldn't be able to do it, go
Consistently,
from
yeah.
hotel to hotel room. And
I mean, I didn't know he'd be willing to get me a cut rate to stay here, which would benefit me at least longer than a regular hotel. I'm spending my entire check on hotels.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
And you're stuck. I mean, and people don't understand Social Security. Well, you're getting SSDI, you're getting disability, and it's
I'm
not
both.
enough.
No, I'm getting them both again.
But it's not enough for rent.
No.
And then when you're in one of these places, it all goes to the weekly rate,
Yeah.
and you can't save up for first and last.
No.
And you're stuck here. It becomes a prison.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. It is a prison within your life. I mean, I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know when it's going to end. My situation might be better than someday, but I don't know when that day's going to be.
When people watching this, normal people that judge homeless people, what would you want them to know about homelessness?
It is a horrible situation to be in, and you don't know what brought somebody to become homeless. I didn't do anything to deserve it. I didn't do anything to cause it. My husband died. You cannot judge a book by its cover, and you shouldn't. And I did the same thing until I had to live it. You can't judge. You can't assume that they're whatever, drugs, alcohol, whatever brought them there. You can't assume that because you don't know what put them on the street. It wasn't that for me. My husband just died, and he took care of me. And when he was gone, I didn't have that. And I eventually lost everything. I couldn't hang on to it. I can't pay storages and keep my keep a roof over my head for even a couple days. So you cannot judge somebody just by looking at them holding a sign at the highway, or you just can't do it because it's not right. You don't know what put them there to begin with.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
my husband come back. And none of this happened. I miss him. I don't know how to go on without him. I don't know how to do it. He always took care of me. I just want it to be over. However that's got to be. I just want it to be over. It's a very emotional, draining, horrible experience. And you just want to give up. I've been really close to giving up. I have given up. It's not fair. Life is not fair, I know, but this is really not fair. I just can't keep doing this. I'm miserable.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
I'm afraid. My heart is broken.
I'm so sorry.
And then I have to deal with all of this. Mm-hmm. I can't have a holiday. I can't. Nothing. I don't even see my kids. And I have kids. But I don't even see them. And I try not to ask any of them for anything.
Well, that's the thing. People are going to say, why don't you ask your kids for
My
help?
kids are not there to raise me. And they have, my younger and my middle son have both helped me a little here and there when I've asked. But it's hard to ask your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be the one they're asking for help. Yeah. Not the other way around. Yeah. It's not a good feeling to run to your kids, especially when they're starting their lives out. My son just got married. They're having, their first child. I can't ask them to take care of me too. Yeah. It's not right.
I hear a lot that families are struggling themselves.
Yeah.
So.
A lot. I mean, my boys are both struggling. So. And they're both just now starting their lives with their wives. So it's not fair to ask them to. I mean, they will somewhat when they can, but I try not to ask them for anything. And I try not to tell them what I'm going through. Just make them feel worse than, they don't know that I'm on the street.
And you've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
Well, you're a very strong woman, and you'll be able to make it.
I'm not anymore.
Oh, you got here.
It's hard. It is. It's really hard. It's not what I would wish on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish this life on anybody. Yeah. It is extremely unforgiving. People don't realize how hard this is. Mm-hmm. It's not a life you choose. It's a curveball.
That's a big thing. Everybody thinks people want to be homeless, and they don't.
No. God, no.
Yeah.
I haven't met anybody yet that wants to be homeless.
Right.
And especially out here when it's 22 below and, I mean, it's bad. You wake up with your hair frozen to your head.
Well, it's not that cold yet, but it will be.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Last night was a cold night, let me tell you.
I agree. It was really cold, so.
Yeah. It was one of the coldest ones I've slept outside on.
You were outside last night?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know the one woman that drove you here and picked you up and picked up your stuff.
Yeah, they came and got me.
They came and got me. I didn't know you were outside last night.
Yeah. Until they picked me up, I was outside and my stuff was behind the hotel.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
It's horrible.
Well, somebody's knocking at the door. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
No problem.